Welcome, one and all, people of the toy community, to another Friday night on the Affinity Equation. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all feeling great. Hope you had a great weekend. And if you had New York Comic Con, I missed you. Hope you had a good time as well. I do apologize if I did miss you. Apologize if I missed a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people there, but I missed a lot of folks there. But it was a good time either way. We are back in action, man, and I'm tired. But I can't do the show without my good friend, my buddy over here, Mr. Disavow. How you doing, sir?
Dante, Infinity Equation podcast. What goes on? Dante, pumped to be here tonight, back on the air with you, good sir. So excited to hear about your excursion to New York City with all those YouTube two-tubers, toy tubers hanging out up there. Had a blast watching all you guys and all your adventures. So looking forward to cutting it up, talking some action figure goodness tonight. So, and always, thank you for having me here, sir.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you for being with me and hanging with me. Man. So it's been a whirlwind of a weekend already. Last weekend, I should say. Woo! It was a lot going on. If you are new here, please hit the like and subscribe button. Helps us grow, helps us become a bigger channel. And maybe soon membership starting. Maybe. We'll see.
Nice.
We'll see. Be part of the Goon Squad, maybe.
I like it. Dante, I don't want to forget to do this, and I know it's in your notes, but I'll forget to say it, so I'll bring it up now. Before we get into the actual toy news of the week and NYCC and all the great times everybody had there, huge shout out and congratulations to Action Figgy Skinny, adding a new toy collector to the family, Dante.
Exactly. Yes. Congratulations to our other co-host, Action Figgy Skinny. Proud father for a second child. Not one, not two. Two-time champion.
So congratulations to Figgy and his lucky lady and Lily and the entire families. That's awesome.
So this is the funny part. This also kind of leads us to New York Comic Con as well. Actually, before that, Tim, who's in the chat with us, hanging with us here?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight with us. We always appreciate you. We know it's a lot to watch. We know you have busy lives, busy days, busy Friday schedules. So when you hang out with us, we really do appreciate it a lot. Love seeing people here in the chat. And like Dante just said, if you're new or if you haven't before, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, and say what's up in the chat. So, Dante, let's go through and see who's here. We have Damien in the house, and I can show them this week, Dante. We learned that a couple weeks ago, right?
There you go. Yes.
We have Damien in the house. What's going on, man? We also have Pokey87. What's up, Pokey? Dante, Dom is having a case of the I Miss NYCC blues.
I do too. I do too. It was good hanging out with Dom.
You know what? I've only got to hang out with Dom that one time at Legion's Con. So Dom, let us know. I'm assuming you're going to Legion's Con. Hopefully I'll see you either again, sir. Mark Rose is here. What's going on, Mark? We have NJ Tree. Dante, tell him how it is.
Just can't teach that. That man, there's a joke too from NYCC about him too. So see.
I look forward to hearing it. I needed NJ Tree and a toy on a couple of weeks ago. They had Marvel Legends on the top shelf at Walmart, and I couldn't reach them. I had to use a Ninja Turtle katana to get them down, so I could have used that height. Stryden is here. What's going on, Stryden? Good to see you here, man. Tree says, next week getting Tim to go. I think you guys have positively peer pressured me into going for next year. I'm going to have to work on getting tickets.
Definitely.
Make my return. It's been quite a long time. Dom also added, Dante, I forgot to tell you, there was another kind of funny autograph witness at Alex's table.
No, don't tell me it was the old man with the cane. Please tell me it wasn't the old man with the cane.
I guess we'll get to that. By the way, it is A torrential downpour has started outside my window here.
Really?
I don't think they're calling for thunderstorms, but I was just a caveat. Because suddenly I go like for way too long, then that means something went wrong with the internet with the storm. Robert Diaz is here. I'm here for that sweet AOA news direct from NYCC. Dante, what do you think of that, sir?
Guess he's gonna be holding his breath for a long time then.
Deep underwater, holding his breath. Tree also oh yeah, I'm sorry, I clicked that already. Next year, trying to get me to go. Bart, what's going on? Bart adds, thank you for having me here too. Appreciate you being here, man. Here's one I don't want to screw up. I'll try to get it right here. HC Gunpla is in the house. He says, woo, looking cool, Joker.
Yeah, that's my buddy Josh.
Hey, Josh. What's going on, man? I don't mess the name up.
No,
Robert also added. Robert says Dante is going to call the members of the channel the Legions of AOA.
You know what? Maybe. They
are landed on thick after a week off here, Dante. They're coming at you, man. Before you know, it's going to be Toddy Mac talk. Greg added, look, it's Mr. Spider-Man himself.
Yeah, last night was fun. For those who were there hanging with me, streaming it for 2 hours, it was a good time. I may stream some more after this show, so because I want to play some more Spider-Man.
Nice.
Watch
the channel for some more Spider-Man 2 action. Flash 739 says, hey now, what's going on, Flash? What else we got going on here? Who else is in the house? I don't miss anybody here. Greg's stirring up some trouble. He says disavowed action figures is going to start pranking us with random freeze poses like and such like that. Damien, I think I said hi to Damien already, but there's Damien. NYCC figure fanatic Dante. They're in the house. And I think we're through everybody, Dante.
Awesome. Yes, Flash. Thank you, Flash, for about my sweatshirt. I did buy this at NYCC. I had to get this because this looked pretty awesome. So I was like, yeah. So, yes, and I'm wearing on Spider-Man Day. I did not get a Spider-Man hoodie. They didn't have one. Unless I didn't go to the other booth and see if they had one either. So I was too lazy.
Do they at NYCC again? I went once. It was probably about 8 years ago. Is it like Wizard World where they have that giant like T-shirt wall? It's like the same T-shirt wall that goes like to every con, basically.
Styling, yes, they're always there. Styling is always there. They always got 2 booths there.
That's the one I always remember seeing at Wizard World back when it was like, old school Wizard World. I'd always end up like every year trying to fight the urge to buy a T-shirt that I knew I can get at Walmart for probably the same, half price of that. But it's always just such a massive just wall to take in of shirts.
Yeah. Yes, Robert, I will be hosting the anime Gundam streams again soon. So we just have to find a day when we're going to start it. It's going to be me, Matthew, Jay Shot probably join us. See if we can get Mr. HC Gunpla to join us on Tuesday nights. But yeah, we'll be starting those up again. I just have to sit down and kind of hit a concrete date of when we're going to do it.
Very cool.
Let's see. Dom says there's 2 at NYCC. Yep. Flash the T-shirt tower. Yes. Yeah.
Good old T-shirt tower. Brian King just joined us as well. Dante, what's up, Brian?
What's going on, Brian? Every convention, Flash says every convention I go to, I accidentally cut a line without realizing either autograph or purchase line. I feel so bad. I'll be all right. Now it could have been like this year where somebody pooped on the floor. So I mean,
whoa, what?
Yeah.
Literally, somebody pooped on the floor.
Yes, literally.
Huh. Okay, maybe I won't go next year. What you said before the poop on the floor thing, Dante, about accidentally cutting in line. I do recall. I think it was SDCC watching one of Toying Around Kevin's live streams, and somebody commented on his live stream on Instagram, remember, push and run past everybody. You'll never see these people ever again. And I always laugh, and I think to myself, even when I'm filming like in a store for a toy hunt, I'm like, I don't want to bother anybody. You're trying to be polite. And then I'm also thinking like, I'll never see these people ever again. So I feel like at NYCC, I'd be polite, but I'd also be a little bit more assertive than I typically would be.
So we had the conversation. they said it was funny. It was like with Darius, and then we were talking with Blaine from Blaine things from NECA. And it's like you can tell they're like you can tell who's from New York and who's not from New York. And I was like, damn. It's like you probably tell I'm not from New York, but I kind of do push people. I don't care at times because if you're in my way. So I'll say this, and I told this to Dom too. No, was it Art or Dom I was talking to? I can't remember. I was talking to one of them because I was hanging out with them both. I don't remember half the conversations I had. I said, look, I love kids. I really do. I love kids. But when your child's not old enough to enjoy it and you bring them in, push them in a stroller, and you're in the thickness of a crowd, it doesn't work.
Nope.
Bring a stroller to a convention. It just doesn't work. I'm sorry. I hate to say that.
Mm-hmm.
A stroller doesn't work because you're running over people's feet and you're not going to make it, especially on a Friday or Saturday. You might just call it quits.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Dante. A Tizzle just walked back into the room to get Bruno because he's trying to eat the carpet. But this ties in well. Do you want to be on camera for a minute? Sure. A Tizzle is going to make an appearance, Dante. So Dante brought up an excellent point just now regarding how strollers do not work well in NYCC. Would you like to add any context to what it's like at Disney World when people have those double wide strollers in the park?
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
See? Nobody wants that. Like you're running over people. Like basically you're running over folks. And it just doesn't, you can't do it. You can't do it.
You're hitting feet, you're hitting people, you're hitting merch. God forbid somebody bought a hot toy and they just got squashed. And again, like I try to say this in the toy hunts. When I'm in a toy aisle or something, it's a toy aisle in a big box location. It's meant for the kiddies. So I can't be like all up in arms. He's eating my hat. When there's a kid, I'm kidding. When there's a kid, making a sound or, God forbid I ever stand because people rip me up for it. But at NYCC, like, yes, it's kid friendly to an extent, but I'm feeling like bringing your like 8-month-old baby to a germ factory, Javits Center, crammed with people, it probably isn't the best choice. So I'm definitely not trying to, hate on anybody with kids, but use some judgment, I suppose I'm thinking there.
Yeah, if they're there, if they're old enough to enjoy it, I can understand. Like that makes more sense. Like, okay, here, they enjoy it. Fine, that's cool. But if the baby don't understand what's going on and just looking at the bright sounds and colors, like I'm like at this point, like
I don't
find a babysitter.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get people can't always find babysitters and whatever, but man, oh man, I would not want to be that person pushing a stroller or a double stroller. So
exactly.
And I don't want to be the person whose ankles get chopped by the stroller either. Done that way too many times. So
exactly.
But whoever did go, I hope they had a good time.
Yeah. Oh, Greg said, A Tizzle, hey there, prank Tim, snatch his hat.
People assume I'm bald, by the way. And yes, it's a mess, but I'm definitely not bald. It's just that I like to wear my hat. So
I just bought a black hat and I didn't wear it today. I wore a different hat. He said, "Where's your hat?" I said, "Well, I'm wearing all black. I didn't want to go totally black."
We want to coordinate in Target. So yeah.
There you go. All black for the homies.
Bruno, we just gotta find one small enough for Bruno now. That's the only thing. If anyone knows a hat that would fit Bruno, let us know.
Hiding out like we riding in all blacks. Let's see what else we got here. Bart says someone say Gundams. Grace says, wait, what crazy news is this? DAF broke 5K subs. Congratulations to you, Disavow. Tim, Mr. Breaking 5,000. Nice.
Thank you. As I mentioned on Instagram, as a guy who walks around stores using an iPhone and talking about toys, take it for what it's worth. But I greatly appreciate everybody who watches and comments and has subbed over the last several years. So never expected to have my channel amount to much, but it's been a lot of fun, and we'll keep it rolling for as long as it's fun. And as I've said before, when it stops being fun, I'll stop doing videos, but it's a lot of fun right now. So I appreciate the kind words. Thank you to you and everybody else.
Yeah, you're welcome. He's well deserved. Josh, my boy Josh said I'm building plastic robots right now. About time. You got a backlog, sir. You need to start building something. Like you got a backlog. Greg says, Bart, he is toying with your heart. I'm not toying with your heart, Bart. I'm not. Stratton says bunch of savages. Yes.
Yeah.
The lady was in line for Chris Evans. She could I guess she didn't want to miss her spot. So she just decided instead of going to the bathroom, she decided to go into a corner in the VIP area and just take a papa squat and come back. My main question is, she probably didn't wash her hands. Her butt was probably stanky.
Oh.
And then you wait for Chris Evans, and I'm probably sure Chris Evans got a whiff of that. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and take the picture. All right, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Who stinks up in here? Dang, I know it's Comic-Con, but there's deodorant and a thing called shower, some soap.
I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't break out a quote from Mallrats and say, "Would you like a chocolate-covered pretzel?" Terrible. It's terrible.
Flash says, pooping on the floor is just a natural thing to see in NYC wherever you are. Yeah. Grace says, apparently in Chris Evans' line, some woman just had to go and got herself banned forever. Yes, she is banned for life.
Hashtag trespassed. You have been trespassed. You're now welcome back to the Javits Center. Congratulations, lady. You pooped.
You played yourself. Don says you got to walk on ankle at cons. Yes, always. What's going on, Happy? How you doing? Damien says, hey, Don, did you happen to see the newest Diamond Selects on display? Yes, we will be talking about them as well. Flash said, I did it once with a big stroller at NYCC 2012. Sorry to all who ran to me. My son never did it again. It's fine. Look, the thing is it's like on Fridays and Saturdays, it's just a no-go. I'm going to tell you, it's a no-go because it's jam butt to gut packed. So, when you're trying to get down the aisle, you might as well call it quits. Honestly. What's going on, Omar V says, hello, everyone. Robert says, I had a screaming child behind me on a 3-hour flight. I hated it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Paul says, I go to Emerald City Comic Con every year pretty much, and I would never take a young children. I've never been there, but it sounds like it's packed. Dom says the strollers are what the parents want at NYCC. They use it as a pillow / bulldozer to force their way through. The strollers aren't really for the kids. So you just have a dummy sitting there, just like a sentinel dummy dressed up as a child, just ramming people. Yeah.
I just got this visual. I just pictured in my head, the scene in Mad Max where the guy's playing the electric guitar and there's fire shooting out of the front of the car and everything else. But it's a parent pushing a double stroller with the fire shooting out and the guy playing the guitar on it through the con. It's too good. I can't unsee it now.
Oh, yeah. Flash says, I'm sort of lucky to push that wide stroller. One, I'm from New York City, and will talk shit back. And two, I appear intimidating to some folks. I didn't hear anyone complaining. Well, if you're intimidating, yeah, you're good. You're good. Damien says, as a bus driver, I always wanted to say to customers with strollers, enter forward, but exit backwards. Sometimes they see the logic. Collecting Havoc says, congrats on 5K.
Thank you, Havoc. I appreciate that.
Omar V says, congratulations.
Thank you, Omar.
As well as Stryden.
Thank you, Stryden.
Paul says, disavow hunt videos are the best. You and Archie got my views most definitely.
Hey, thanks, Paul. And again, Art will be joining us eventually. I'm sure he'll pop in the chat here, but let it be said yet again, thanks to Archie because he gave me a lot of advice kind of going through this whole YouTube journey. So Art, the G stands for great.
The Fred G stands for gotta get money. Don says doesn't want to miss meeting Chris Evans, so she decides to crap herself before meeting him. Yeah, that's the worst. Crafted America experience only at NYC. See, don't let Brian influence you, Josh. Okay, stop it. Or she probably wiped with a copy of AOA. She probably did.
Let's just hope it wasn't one of the foil covers. That could have stung a little bit. Maybe cut her.
Grace says, at least you didn't quote Dogma.
I'm still digesting that movie. Great film. Just a lot to unpack with that one.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's okay. Grace says, Bart, she should have used Liefeld art. Yeah, because it's a waste of paper. It would have chafed her ass. All right, so New York Comic Con this year. I'll start with Thursday. Thursday was amazing. It was fun. It was great meeting everybody. We all gathered around the Marvel booth. It was like the gathering of all like everybody in the toy community. I was there, and it was just like jam packed. Got to meet Kevin toying around for the first time in real life. It was great meeting him. Met Nose Rain, the Figure Report Mikey. Got to meet him. Got to see Big NJ Tree. Who else who was there? As always, Dom. Art was there. Matthew J Shot. Matthew's sister was there. It was great seeing them, hanging out with them. Trevor was also there. Yes, yeah, thank you, Don. So I met Yoko maybe for the first or second time. We're not sure. So
Oh, that's funny.
I'm a little Seinfeld. I'm muting my mic. But yes, we're not sure. We met for the first or second time, so it was just like, hey, whatever. It's great meeting you. See, hey,
Were you front and center for any Yoko versus Lago fist getting thrown by chance? Lago
No.
and Yoko crossing paths? No.
No, it was not. We did see Lago Figs. It was great seeing him again. Oh man, who else was there? I'm trying to remember. Toy Chase was there. Agent Variant. Lord have mercy. I'm thinking like I know I'm missing somebody.
I'm trying to think because again, I mentioned in the green room I did watch, excuse me, a lot of the live streams. Wasn't any other Toy Migos that were there? I don't think.
No, Daria. Yes, Daria was there. Daria was there.
Okay.
Yes, Daria was there.
80s
New York,
baby.
yes. New York Rebel Photography was there, also there as well.
I think you mentioned you saw D Amazing at some point as well in New York.
Yes. Yep. D Amazing. I hung out with him for a little bit. I did miss a chance to hang out with Bug for a little bit as well.
Did you mention the great Art G in that list? I don't know if you did.
Yes.
Or not. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He was one of him and Dom. I hung out with like most of the time I was up there at the convention. Bat Force Grump. I met him for the first time.
Nice.
It was nice getting. Yeah, it was nice meeting him as well. I was really trying to remember who else. Toy Chase had like the Odious plushie, so he was having everybody take a picture with Odious. Speaky Geeky was there. I'm not sure who Speaky Geeky is. I'm not familiar with that person. And here's RG, right on time, as always.
Rolling in. And also because all these people are very humble, I'll make sure to plug for them. Go back, and if you're interested, check out Matthew's live stream. It was just a plethora of eclectic toy hunters in one room together. It was very cool to see. And then also Toying Around also did his own live stream where Art and Toying Around, and I believe it was Yoko, and also Ryan Ting were all hanging out doing some card breaks and some toy openings. So again, check out all the friends of the channel. There are a lot of people posted some great content for NYCC as I watched it from home and enjoyed it.
Oh, Pack Photos. Got to meet him for the first time face to face too. So
oh, no way. I didn't realize it was your first time meeting him in person. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good people, man. I got to talk with him and see if he's going to Legion's Con, because that's probably the next opportunity for a lot of us to get together in such a big group.
He is going to Legion's Con, yes.
It's going to be what's like 2-3 weeks away now, maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is my last convention. That's my last convention for the year. I'm done.
You're tapping out at that point?
It's done. It's a done deal.
That's awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be such a great time at that show. And again, a lot of the people from the West Coast coming out, Cheney, Jurassic Jesser. I mean, people that, typically, may not be coming out to the East Coast or coming out for that one. So that's going to be a freaking blast. We'll have to compare notes. I can see what day you're going, and, we're all going to meet up and everything. It's going to be a good time.
Well, that was the first, last year was the first time I met Toy Bro. I met him
there. Jared, right? Is that his name? I think Jared.
Yes. Yep. What's going on? Yojo Jerk just joined us as well. Four Feathers, what's happening? He says, popping in real quick to say what's up. I'll catch the rewind when I get home from the Target run with the fam at the moment. Congrats, Disavow, on your 5K.
Hey, thanks, man. You've been a huge supporter for the whole time, so I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Have fun with the family tonight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I missed D Blake Dom. I don't know where he was at. Missed him. That, you know what? It's his fault. His fault. I missed him. Plunderings was there, but Ricky was not, unfortunately. No, Hell Dope Toys was not there. I did get to see the Meta Traveler figures, the prototypes of those. They did have those there as well. The Giant Man looks amazing in person. If you haven't backed it, I'm going to suggest do it. Just do it. Because if it hits the 10,000, and if you like say, hey, it's not for me, you can always flip it later on. Trust me, it'll sell. But yeah, the Giant Man looks like ridiculously amazing. Diamond Select has some great stuff. They had the Captain America looks. So I did talk to Zach from Diamond Select, and I was telling him like how I wasn't really high on that Captain America at first, but now seeing it in person and some of the changes that they made, it almost makes me want to have it in my collection. Like I'm on the verge of buying it. I want on the verge of just pre-ordering it now. It looks a lot better than the previous pictures that were put out. Steve Rogers' head looks really good. The belt, they only had like they only had it. The reason why I said why is it just facing like the back of it? He said he wanted to show off how the straps look in the back of Captain America. So I was like, all right, that's cool. Like that works, understandable. But you can switch them out. They did have Archangel there on display. I did miss the Annihilus, but from the pictures I've seen, it looks really great.
That's the one Kevin there. Yeah, what's up, Kevin? How you doing? Kevin, we were just talking about the great content you provided from NYCC, so thank you for that. Yeah, that's one I wanted to ask you about, Dante, actually, was the Annihilus, because, again, with the selects, it's tough because I have a minimal collection of those, and the ones I have are genuinely like the Hulk, Thanos, like characters that their size can vary, so you can kind of fudge it on a Marvel Legends shelf. So Annihilus I was actually curious about because I'm not quite sure, again, in the comics, I can't recall what his size is as compared to other characters. So that would be one where I'd be curious if you could fudge it on a Legends shelf, and then two, maybe we get it in Legends form, because typically we see a select and we get a Legends, shortly thereafter. So
definitely, I would definitely say you can fudge in with your Legends. It'll work with the Legends. That's not an issue with that.
Good. That's cool. That's good to know, because that's one. The Archangel looked great, but again, I have my Archangel in my Legends collection, so that would be one that I wouldn't necessarily be looking to pick up. But the Annihilus would be one where if we don't get a Legend sometime soon, I'd want to look at picking up.
Yeah, definitely. So since Kevin's here, since he had to go do his thing, our special Mr. Kevin, Mr. Fancy Hairdo, Mr. Kevin. Now, we both did interviews with Cal Dodd. He had set us up on his channel. Great. It was a great interview. I have mine's up. Put mine's up like Wednesday. Yeah, I think Thursday. I think it put up Thursday. Was it Thursday? I don't know. It's up.
I think it was, yeah. It was a great video, Dante. Great interview. I really enjoyed checking that out. Again, it took you back to when he was here. If you didn't know, he was on the Infinity Equation a few years ago, which was an awesome night. I remember watching that as a fan. But yeah, great interview, Dante. And I have to say, quite a few times he was whipping those claws around, and I was like, homeboy's gonna take a finger off of you or somebody. He was really whipping those claws around.
You know what? No, I'm not going to tell that story. No, because it's an embarrassing story. No, I'm not going to tell that story.
Okay, leave that one out.
But it was cool. It was cool to see him. But then, thanks to Art, let me know that Lenore was going to be there as well. So I had the great idea of like, oh, I just got my X-Men 97 wave in. So why didn't I just get it signed by them?
Nice.
So Lenore signed my Rogue. and it says, "Hey Sugar, love Lenore, aka Rogue."
I used the same joke with Art, but I'll use it again here. When you met her, were you as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs?
Yes, and Art and Dom can attest because they were standing there when I met Kyle Dot and his wife face to face. Yeah, I was nervous as hell. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Fair,
But I
fair.
did get him signed Wolverine.
That's killer, man. That's killer. And to your credit there, and to your point, Dante, it's one thing to interview somebody obviously over a live stream. You know, obviously you had Cal and you had the Lee Walds and some other people over the years on the show, but you know, even Ryan Ting, other Marvel Legends guys. But when you're face to face in person, it just hits different. So good on you for still doing a good interview and having a good time with that.
Thank you. So Dom said he felt like he was trying to upstage Lenore when he signed this. So he signed the sign. And it says, "I go where I want to go."
That's awesome. That's really cool. Did he sign that before the interview or after the interview?
This was signed before the interview.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I had to bring him back up Friday. I didn't do the interview until like Sunday.
Oh, okay.
But I brought him back up Friday because I was like, all right, let me just see. Let me just kind of set everything up here. And like, ugh. But yeah, it was yeah, thank you, Omega. Yeah, I do like the blue ink on it because he's like, he's like, oh, should I sign it? I was like, look, it's up to you. I'm just happy that you signed it because like this is now the bee's knees to me.
You in your interview, you definitely got some really good nuggets. Obviously, with his NDA, can't say a whole lot, but he did add a pretty interesting nugget in the interview. I'll spoil one thing from it, where he did make the comment that the story arc for Wolverine, I think he said, was very, very painful throughout the season or something to that effect. So I found that as very interesting as a tidbit. Looking forward to the season as I am.
Yeah, he says Wolverine goes through some things. Yeah, there's some things that Wolverine goes through. So, yo, you and me, Kev, you and me both. I gotta find another Wolverine in a row to open now. Like, yeah, I like you can't open. Like, honestly, like before I go into this more, like you can't honestly like not open. Like, you can't open these. I have to not to find like those like plastic cases to put them in, so they just stay sealed in there forever, as like something that's part of my childhood. And I did get like I think it was like, I guess it's like a photo, like it's like it says X-Men on there, and it has a team on there. And I signed. I was like, and I told him, his wife was like, this is going next to the first page I got from Lee Walls from the script Night of Sentinels. Like this is like building it out now. Like you've now made this built out. So now I have like previously on the X-Men book next to the script copy that we got from the Lee Walds with Rogue's actually Mr. Jones's art that Rogue signed, that Lenore signed, which was awesome. So I got two for the price of one on that one. Next to this Rogue now that's signed, and oh my goodness, like yo, by the time I'm done meeting everybody, I'm gonna have like a collection full of like X-Men memorabilia at this point.
Well, now you're gonna have to hit up Bo to get something autographed by Bo to go with it.
Yo, I'm like, yo, Bo, what you got? Bo, what you got for me, buddy? What you got for me? But no, it was fun. Definitely talking with Cal. It was amazing. I did not get a chance to sit down with Lenore either. I wish I did. But something's in the works for you, y'all. I guarantee you this. 2024, do not be surprised if you see a reunion of some point on this show.
Nice. Awesome.
I'm just saying. I'll just say that.
Very exciting, man. That's awesome. All right. So random question. Because I had this anxiety when I met Sergeant Slaughter last 2 summers ago to get a figure autographed. Did the voice actors have their own paint pens, or did you have to take your own with you?
No, they had their own pens.
All right, cool.
Yeah, they had all their own pens. And Kev, I don't know if you did get the chance to talk with her. I did. Lenore told me that she's already recording the studio for season 2. Oh, okay. Oh, snap. Okay. I think Cal did say something to that effect. Because he said he had to go back. He had to, because they're all in Canada, so all the voice actors are in Canada. So he said he had to go back this week. Excuse me, to the studio.
Yeah, he'd said there was something with the way he pronounced words that didn't match up with the lips, I think, in the animation.
So it's the like when he says it, they had to try to match it up with the animation.
Hmm.
And if so, he says what it happens is they'll have him come back and say his lines to try to match it up with the animation now. If it's like off. All right, see you, Happy. Have a good one. Uh, but yeah, it's like kind of like so the match, so everything kind of matches up, so it doesn't look wonky. And I explained, I was like, yo, like that's what really drags people in is good animation and good storytelling. If the animation's like great, like it's hard to keep people into it. Even if it's a great story, it's hard to keep people's focus. Like this animation is like hurt my eyes.
Yeah.
Like I said, Flashpoint, prime example. Loved the story. The animation was just hard to like look at. Like everybody had like pinheads.
And Cal
Although,
made a
like,
great observation himself. He mentioned how that final season of X-Men animated series, they shifted animation houses. And I remember even as a kid, I was watching that. I was probably like maybe 14, I don't know what I was, or early teens. And I remember watching it, like, first of all, I was thinking, is this the same show? And then like all the characters, like it wasn't just the animation was different, their designs were different. Like, remember the episode they did near the end with Beast and Fabian Cortez, Wolverine and Apocalypse?
mm-hmm.
It was just a weird look to it. And,
Yeah.
you know, he even mentioned that in your interview, which was great, that it just didn't look right, which it didn't look right.
Well, I'm glad he agreed with us because I'm like shoot, it was like that last season. I'm like, yeah, that last season looked horrible. I'm sorry, like it's not your fault. Not your fault, Cal. You just did the voices, but somebody like whoever they switched to was just this was like it looked like not look good at all. But again, yes, it like I said, animation makes it. You got to have story and you got to have animation. Kevin says weird that let me see. It says weird that they can't manipulate the animation speed or something, but I'm not in the industry. I don't think it's that. I think it's so the way he explained it was they go in and do the lines first, then they animate it to those lines. And if the animators like he can say, I think I forget the example he used in the interview I did with him. But if they can't like match it up, they'll have him come back in and re-record the lines. So I guess that's how it works from what he said. What's going on, Curtis? Says hot like G.I. Joe season 2 and 3. And, I'm not gonna. So y'all gonna be mad. I collect G.I. Joe, but I've never watched a season of G.I. Joe. I know some of the characters, but I've never watched a season of G.I. Joe.
I think, and again, you're talking back into the 80s. So again, I was pretty damn young at that point, or I'm pretty damn old now. But I remember later on, after Sunbow and that first, basically after everything with Serpentor and the movie and everything, they tried to continue the original series. Like, I'm pretty sure that they like followed up on Cobra Commander being an actual snake again. And like, and I watched episodes, I think on YouTube, and it definitely looks very strange, which so strange to the point it looks like it's totally disconnected, which honestly, they were trying to capture lightning in a bottle again. They're probably just giving up on it.
Right.
I'm sure diehard Joe fans may have a different take or whatever, but it definitely looks strange. I couldn't watch it. At least not as an adult, and as a kid, I never saw it.
So to Damien's point, he says, so Dante, do you think he do a second wave for X-Men 97? So there's another interview I have to put up, and that's with David Nakayama. There's a little hint of something going on. Until I get that interview up, that's what I'll leave you with. Leave with that little tidbit, because he does go into a little bit. But we do talk mostly about his Kickstarter going through and how he's super excited for that. So I will try to get that interview up this weekend, and then hopefully sometime between Sunday and before next Friday, I'll have the full Comic-Con video up. It's probably be pretty long. It's gonna be.
I'll expand on that a little bit. Not nothing relative to what you just said, obviously, but in terms of will there be a second wave? They're literally titling it X-Men 97 Wave 1. So if they're making sure to delineate and say Wave 1 in the marketing, I'm pretty sure that means there'll be a Wave 2. Somebody had mentioned one of my videos in the comments, where Cyclops, you're going to get the rest of the team, I would imagine. So, and probably a Magneto with the big M on his chest, I would think too.
Hold on. So the thing is, if you really listen to what Cal said in that interview, the people who came back and which voices are being done. Because there's a part in there he says, Jean has not shown. He says he has not seen Jean yet, the voice of Jean. Yep. So, watch the interview. There's little tidbits you can get. There's little tidbits that he gives you about what's going to happen. Let's see. So I did talk to David Nakayama. Oh, look who it is, Mr. Dan Studio himself, 796. Just going on.
What's going on, Mario?
Unfortunately, if you missed his stance that he went back and didn't tell nobody that were up for sale yet, yeah, he sold out of them. He didn't tell me, so I say shut the studio down again.
Dante, before we get too far, I didn't highlight the comment, but I saw it a little further up. I think it might have been Damien had asked to see a close-up of the Mindless One build the figure. So it's real quick. I don't want to ignore that. I'll quick throw that up on screen. So a little side note from NYCC. This thing's awesome. If you don't know the character, it looks weird. You're like, what's this big chunk of plastic? I think it's awesome. This is probably my build figure of the year right now. So this piece pops in and out, which is really cool. Nice touch to that. And I believe that it was Dwight had mentioned in an interview that more likely than not, we'll probably get this as a deluxe figure down the road, potentially like a different wash, different color, something or other. So if you don't want to build a figure, I suggest you do it because it's awesome. And the wave is incredible. I reviewed most of them on Just About Action Figures, but it's a great build the figure. So I would grab it. It's going to be in the top 10 for sure. If not, top 5. It's my favorite one so far. But if you want to wait, you can probably get one down the road as a deluxe from what Dwight had said in an interview. But there you go, sir. He asked for the close-up. There he is.
So real quick, before I go on, Kevin, yeah. Oh, so he just gave you 2 sets for free? Oh, okay. And he's like, oh, he wouldn't tell me. You wouldn't tell me. He's gonna make sense. All right, you know what? See how you just do the black man. Cool, Kev. Not Kev. I do apologize, Kev. Not you. Cool, Mario. Cool. I see how you just do the black man. Just keep holding me down. Keep holding me back. Can't get no stands to hold up my figures, huh? Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. All right. I remember that, Mario. I remember that. When you need something, Mario, remember that. Remember that other year? Remember last year, 2022, when you said, hey, I said, hey, Kev, this is me. I said, hey, Mario, look, I'll see if I can find this for you. I'll see if I can grab it for you if you want me to. You were like, yeah, if you do that, that'd be great. Yeah. Okay, I remember that, Mario. Remember, I got eyes on you, Mario. That's cool. That's cool, Mo D, man. That's cool, Mo D. That's cool. That's all right. All right. Anyway, back to the fun stuff. Besides this Mario cat. So it was early. What was it? Early Friday, I think it was. I've been cheated out before. I'm sure you have. I'm sure this is not the first time. I was in there early, so I was just walking by. I was walking by the Super 7 booth, and I was like, that looks like Emily from the Power Ranger team and the G.I. Joe team. I was like, hello, Emily. She's like, hi. So I introduced myself, had a nice little conversation with her. Nice lady. But I didn't know she was that short. I was like, I didn't know you were this short. She's like, yeah, they had me stand on a box.
I was just going to add that she doesn't seem tall to begin with, and you are a rather tall gentleman. So I was thinking that had to be an interesting lineup there.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's awesome. Yes, Dom. And I introduced Dom to her. I just met her. She was super nice. Let me tell you, Emily is awesome. She was, like Dom said, she was so much fun to talk to. She was great. She was just there to hang out, honestly. Um, so yeah. Yeah, Kev. Yeah, see, like Kevin says, yeah, I had to say hi to Emily, and commend her on Lime Street. Yeah, she is so nice. So nice to be around and talk to. Pleasant person. Uh, what else happened? Shoot, what's going on, KJ?
Hey, KJ.
All right, so hold on, let me, cause I don't remember all that happened. Like some of the stuff is like I forgot what even happened.
Well, it's definitely, you could tell it was an eventful weekend. So it probably feels like a whirlwind
Okay.
afterward when you're trying to look back at it.
So part of it was getting to see the boxes for the Operation Monster Force that are coming out from Big Bad Toy Store. Uh, a lot of people were like, "I want to see the figure." So I was like, "All right." I was like, "There's nothing I can do about that." The gentleman had the box with them, so I was like, "That's good as something." So I was like, I asked if I could take pictures of it. He allowed me to, so there's pictures of it. Ooh, Emily likes Shake Shack over In and Out. Shake Shack's not bad. I do like Shake Shack. I never had In and Out, so I can't say how their food is.
Five Guys, burgers, and fries is all I have to say.
Oh yeah, Art, you missed that. Yeah, we did talk about the poop. We did talk about the poop. Johnny, what's going on? How you doing? Let's see. So here's the prototypes for the Metaverse figures. The Kickstarter ended on Sunday. These look really good. They look amazing. Um, I did ask about the arms since they were. I know they were just prototypes. He did say that they will be flushed, so you'll be able to get them down like the Legion's figures. So they won't be sticking out like that. But they look amazing. The detail in them looks super super well done. And I forgot to ask about if this is going to be real fabric here, but I think it might be. Do, 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 do. So let's talk about this. This guy, I know a lot of people are like up on the fence about it, but let me tell you, to me, it's worth it. Uh, it's a beautifully like when you look at this figure, I wish, like Dan said, like I wish everybody could like see it in person because like it does look good in person. It looks amazing. Um, the first, I think it was Thursday when I was talking to Dwight about it. I asked him, like, could you explain to me more like how the head swap works? And he sent me the video. I know it's super grainy. I do apologize. I tried to clean up on my phone, but it wouldn't clean up. But this is how the head swap will work on it. It's just two tabs that plug into the side, and then you can plug in the antlers, the whatever the feelers on top. But I mean, that works. This really works. Uh, but yeah, it looks so good compared like just with everything. And I know a lot of people. And I did talk about this too as well. Um, I know people are frustrated with not having like a figure with it. And I did talk to the team about that. And I understand where they were coming from, and I understand as fans where we're coming from. So I was seeing both sides. So I wanted when I talk to somebody, I want to see like I understand our side, being a fan, being a collector, it's great. But also there is a logistics side, there's a cost side, there's a approval side as well that steps have to go through. So when they thought about this, it was more they wanted to get this figure out and then get the other ones out in later waves, which as we seen, classic Wasp is somebody that will get down the line. So when you have like if you pair this, if you back this and get this figure, will have classic Wasp to pair with her. Let's see. Damien says, I'm really anticipating the Ghostbusters tease and hoping it's a long awaited Vigo collectible, like his paintings and face patches, and that they can talk. John says, materials alone use more plastic than 8 average Legends figures. Yeah, probably. But it's amazing. I'm just, since it's a prototype too, like they did swap the heads on it. They put the zombie head on there, and it looks great. Oh shoot. Let's go back to that before I go into the G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah, I did see that. I guess it was every day they had it in a different pose, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I did miss what was it? Where they had like the Avengers #1 with it sitting in there with Giant Man.
Oh, cool.
But this is them swapping the head on the prototype with the zombie head. So yeah, it looks good. It's the head sculpts look amazing. Yeah, I think like the last day, Sunday had him pose with like a couple of Ultrons. He had an Ultron in his hand. Am I gonna get the Marvel Anime 2 trading cards? I haven't seen those. I have to check them out and see if be something I want to get. There's another set of cards coming out. I was told in January, so I gotta be ready for those probably too. So I don't know. I don't know. Since I'm gonna be next 2024 is the year I'm cutting back on figures. I'm not getting a lot of figures anymore. It's just cutting back now.
All cards. Going all cards.
No, not even all cards. Oh my goodness, that's more reckless.
that was me this year. As I was going through looking for top 10 lists and things, I came into 2023 really trying to kind of cut back a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. You buy what you really want, don't feel pressured in getting anything. Which, if I really could, I think that's a point that's worth talking about. It's been discussed already, but the concept of the Giant Man being the $200 and not having any figures, as unlockables. They did mention they don't want to put figures behind a paywall. And as Ryan Ting and the rest of the team had said, just like how they showed the Wasp, as you mentioned earlier, Dante, you're now in a situation where you're not going to miss out if you don't back it. Right. And if you maybe there's people who don't want those figures. So now instead of making the price higher to accommodate those figures, you now can pass on those later or buy them if you want to. So really you could save money or spend more money, moving forward as you wish. So I know it's a different approach, and I think we were very spoiled by the Sentinel and the Galactus for what they were. But I think there's also merit to their strategy here, and it's just a matter of whether you want to go in on it or not.
Sure. We do have a super chat thanks to 20 round. By the way, thanks for the Shang-Chi card. Now look, number one, I asked you before I gave it to you. I used to add, if it's Shang-Chi, I'm just like, well, here, I'm just going to hand it to you. Didn't say yes or no to the question. Look, I thought I was doing that a good base of friend. If you gave me Power Man or Blue Marvel, I would not have been offended. Kev, is that love? I love you, man. That must be love for you. It's great seeing you face to face. But Curtis has a point as well too. He says, I don't understand an argument about Giant Man's price. 4 times high, 4 times wide, 4 times deep. Deep equals 64 times the plastic and paint, but only 8 times the price of a normal Marvel Legend. So I understand. Yes. And the thing is, I can see where people may be stuck on that too. And the thing is like this. It is a little bit smaller than, I think it's not that much smaller than Sentinel, but it is just one figure. And now you don't have to worry about saying like, oh man, if we miss these unlocks, I'm not going to get these figures. You're going to get the figures. You're going to get classic Avengers later on. So it does work out, not having them behind that paywall. I can kind of see where they went with the head sculpts. And I even talked to Ryan. I said, it'd been cool if you stuck like a yellow jacket, like one figure in like a yellow jacket. That would have been cool. But then also too, like, would everybody really been upset if Yellow Jacket was stuck behind an unlockable paywall? And see and that's what it comes down to. And I'm not saying your opinion is wrong or right. I'm just giving out information here. Just kind of bear with me on this one. Would most people be upset because, let's say they did do Yellow Jacket behind the paywall? Would more people be upset if Yellow Jacket was behind the paywall and it didn't hit the mark for Yellow Jacket to get that figure? Or would you be more happier if Yellow Jacket was, say, and a wave, and you can have Giant Man and your Yellow Jacket? It's, you got, it's like that old adage, you got to pick your battles. And I'm not saying that anybody who states their opinion of like the reasons why they don't want to get it is wrong, and everybody states opinion saying that they do want to get it is wrong. I backed one because I love to have Giant Man. I have the original Toy Biz one, but this one, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot better than the Toy Biz one. And as most people have seen, the Toy Biz one is not cheap. The Toy Biz one is almost half the price of what this one is.
Yep.
So
and you got to factor in too, Dante. Like, I have all right. So similar dilemma, I guess, in some capacity. One of the first, I'll call it big boy purchases I made when I got into Legends. When I learned that you could sell off like Build-A-Figure pieces and stuff, years and years ago, right, that you didn't want to use. I bought the Galactus Build-A-Figure. That was a huge deal to me at the time. That was a huge deal. I really wanted it. I sold off a lot of stuff to get it. And obviously, the Galactus in the room, not the elephant in the room behind me. I still haven't opened Galactus. I'll wait till the his tank ships, then I'll open it. But I'm glad I have that Galactus. I didn't even consider not getting it. At least I don't think I did. But I am not going to get rid of my Build-A-Figure Galactus. But what I'll say is this. Over the years, the joints go bad. Over the years, it doesn't stand as well anymore. So I'd imagine that, I don't know Giant Man, but I think that it's a similar scenario where over time, I've seen them at shows. It's plastic. It breaks down. So, even though that older one looks great and, it's not a bad figure, it's going to break down over time versus something newer with, newer mechanics and such. So I did find it funny that I think on one of the social media feeds, one of the Hasbro team Legends guys did post a picture of the Giant Man for what it was going for at Comic-Con. And again, if you're going to spend $130 on that, but you don't want to spend $199 on the big one, that part I don't get. I don't get that part personally. You do you, it's your money, but I don't get the logic behind that one.
Yeah, I'll kind of phrase it like this, and I'll try to make it, just give it like a kind of like an easy, like a kind of a way to look at it too. Let's say you love Honda Accords. Love a Honda Accord. Like, yes, that's my car. I love that car. You're like, the 1991 Honda Accord was that car. That was the car to get. They didn't make no other car like a 1991 Honda Accord. Now, we're in the year 2023. A 1991 Honda Accord sells for, let's say, average a good $20,000. Now, you go get a brand new 2023 one, let's say for $15,000. All the bells and whistles in there. I'm just saying that's an example. I'm not saying that this is actually something you can do. Just saying this as an example. Do I go for the $20,000 one? Or do I go for the $15,000 car that I can get now? Something better that I know it's going to last me. Because I don't know what condition that 1991 is going to be in. They could say it's in, just used, has like 150,000 miles on it,
but still good to go. Like anything made from the past years does start wearing out. It's plastic. Unfortunately, that's what happens when plastic starts wearing down. Like you talk about every summer, loose joint season. Those joints start loosening up because it's plastic. It contracts and expands.
Yep.
So to me,
and even
I
people
understand.
and people who have the Giant Man Build-A-Figure, Dante, if they have that already, I don't have it. So for me, it's like if I want a Giant Man, personally, my choice, I have to make the choice, pay whatever the cost is going to be for the original one, which is not that much cheaper than the new one, which is much bigger, you know. But if you have the original Giant Man and you just don't want to spend the money, I get that. Okay, this is fine. This is good for my collection. I don't need a new one. But if it comes down to you're buying one or the other now, I just don't see how you go with the older one ahead of the newer one. I if I'm missing something, I'm obviously welcome to people, you know, sharing their opinions, but that's where I'm like, if you're buying one or the other now, you have neither one. I don't get it. That part doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And I understand you may have affinity and love for the Toy Biz one. Don't get me wrong. I like it too. It does fit great in my collection. But now that I see this one, I'd rather have this one in my collection. I'd rather have like this big boy in my collection.
Well, Dante, Mojo. I mean, I know it's not the same amount of money we're talking here, but a lot of people love that original Mojo. I never had it, but you know, compared to the original one, I get paint apps and blah blah blah. I get all that, but like the sheer size and for scale of your collection, like if you have to choose between buying one or the other now, not I have the original, I'm keeping it. I have neither Mojo. Am I going to buy the Toy Biz or am I going to buy? I feel like the slam dunk is the newer one, and I get people who are beholden to older figures and whatnot, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it weird and sideways. I don't know.
No, I understand because I have the older one and I have the newer one. I kind of like the newer one a little bit better. Like it's the same thing with the Blob. I have the older one and I have the newer one. I like the newer one better. The older one still, the older one still holds up for what it is. Don't get me wrong. It still does what it does. Still good for what it needs to do. But I like the new one a little bit better. It has a little bit more expression to it. I can interchange the hands out on it. I'm fine with that. So enough from us. Let's see what you all have to say. Archie's over here laughing at Kevin. He's just laughing. I don't know why. Don't encourage him, Art. Robert says Dante is going to start buying the Love Live Figma action figures in their 3 different outfits. I have no idea what anime that is. Johnny says, Kev, I'm going to acquire Shang-Chi cards just for you whenever I'm in Toronto if I can. Thank you, Johnny. He over here making me feel bad. Turtle Tank 82 says, can't we pretend to be Giant Man? You sure can. You sure can. You can get it. You go get a. I'm sure Spirit Halloween's got some Giant Man costumes lying around.
Love me some Spirit Halloween. Love this.
If I knew Kevin. Exactly. They built that. They're just building warehouses, like empty warehouse, Spirit Halloween. Empty shed, Spirit Halloween. How did you fit all this in the shed? Hey, don't worry about it. We're Spirit Halloween. RG says, if I knew Kevin liked Shang-Chi cards, I would have bought him some too. Oh man, Kevin said I'm on eBay looking for Luke Cage right now.
By the way, with that said, just in the event I eventually meet Kevin, I will make sure to have Shang-Chi cards with me at all times now, just for the just to double down and pile on.
Let's start something. Sorry, Kev. Poke87 says Tony's 60K celebration video was pretty funny and I recommend it after we're all finished here. Turtle Tank says, how much is Giant Man going for? So this new one is going for 200 for the HasLab. The older one can sell between like 120 to 160, I think, or 170.
I'm checking the eBay machine right now because I'm curious.
Johnny says, I believe 200. Greg says the finger articulation and face plates add to that price. It's just not a blown up legend figure. That's true. Turtle Tank says 200 is not bad.
The first ones that popped up, Dante, on here, Complete,
Mm.
I'm seeing 194.97 free shipping. I'm seeing 189.99 free shipping. So you're essentially paying almost the same amount of money to get the older one as you are the newer one. So just saying, you do you. It's your money, but that's what I'm seeing on eBay. Here's one here missing an arm and a leg for 110. And it's not even complete.
Yeah.
So
and this is the thing. So remember this too. Remember from last year when it was announced Mephisto, and now Mephisto's probably still going high. That Marvel Select one's probably still going for a ridiculous amount of money. I have a feeling that one's still probably going a ridiculous amount of money because it's the one and only Mephisto that we ever got.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, we only got one Blackheart too, and that was a Toy Biz figure too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And you don't see that one too often, the old one. I saw it at a show like 4 or 5 years ago, and there's not a lot of them out there.
Yep. Paul Morales says, "Hey everybody, hey Paul, how you doing?
What's up, Paul?"
Poke87 says the lack of QC accessories that have been coming from our Legends team have been dropped out of the game a while ago. I'll cherry pick here and there, but they just don't do it for me anymore, and that's fine. That's understandable. I cherry pick from the MCU figures. Like I pick some. Like I don't buy all the MCU figures unless it's like I build a figure that I really want, and I'll sell off the other pieces. But the comic book figures I mostly get, unless it's ones I don't already have and I don't need doubles of them. I don't double up on any. Try not to double up anymore unless they're army builders. But yeah, I understand that. I can understand that. And I did talk to Dwight about Ollie's, and he just kind of laughed at me.
Thank you, Ollie's, because you're a huge reason why I hit 5,000 subs. So thank you, Ollie's.
I was like, there's a lot of Eternals to show that Ollie's. I was like, everybody's Ollie's got some Eternals sitting there. And he just laughed. So yeah, there you go. Don says the Toy Biz one was going for $20 less than this one at the con. See? Pokey says also returned multiple Black Series figures today at Target after staring at them for 2 or 3 days. Black Series is different. Black Series, it feels like they don't put any effort into them anymore. Like they were okay at first, and then it just went from like downhill. Like G.I. Joe came out of the gate limping, but it started picking up speed and like wrecked the stride to ship a little bit more. Black Series, it's just like it just seems like, man, like, do you even care about Star Wars? that's a question that feels like
Joe,
sometimes
Dante, like when G.I. Joe came out, even though they weren't the versions that fans necessarily wanted or didn't want in general, at least the articulation was pretty sound. Whereas Black Series, I always say, my heart goes out to Black Series fans because you're dealing with single jointed elbows. I mean, again, you get the cloth goods, which is great because Marvel Legends, we don't want to get too many of the cloth goods with our figures, but I'll take articulation over cloth goods when it comes to a basic figure for, $24.99 or whatever the price is. So yeah, Black Series, Dante, I'm with you, man. They look okay in the box, but if you're going to open them up, it's not up to snuff with other Hasbro lines. Power Rangers, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, don't expect too. I'm super. Yeah, I'm super picky about my Black Series. I am super picky about my Black Series. I don't have that many. There's very few that I have that Black Series in my collection. So I'm just letting you know. So I understand. I'm with you. Like I don't Black Series. I'm not all in on it. Pokey says can't justify those prices to product ratio. Let's see, and then he says that Obi-Wan Vader is almost $30 at tax. How many Obi-Wans do you need? How many Vaders do you need? That's the question. Johnny, thank you for super chat. Says just dropping my offering into the bucket for Grace first plastic assembly. Thank you. Turtle Tank says I'm out of Legends. My last one was Volume 3 Rocket. I sold off my others. That's okay. If it's not for you anymore, that's fine. If you're out on Legends, I understand. There's certain things I'm out on too. Like I feel you. Pokey said the customer service lady asked me what was wrong with them, and I told her the price. She just laughed at me. It also says loving that hoodie. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Damien says good taste in cars too. Dante, do you remember the Nissan Silvia made into late 80s? Probably. I was using the Accord, the Honda Accord as an example. But I was always fond of, because I played Gran Turismo. If you ever played the first Gran Turismo, I loved the Mitsubishi GTO. I love because I had that thing souped up to go over like 90, almost like 100 miles per an hour. Okay. That's something. Okay. Curtis says, have they said anything about rationing joints? Yes, all the joints are ratcheted. They said like Galactus. So all the joints are just like Galactus's joints. Grace says, if Giant Man HasLab fails, the Toy Biz price will skyrocket to over $200. Yeah, that is true. That is very true. It will. It will go up past go up to that $200. That's what I'm saying. Like anything new that doesn't make it just pushes up the price of the older version of it. Damien says, Port the White seemed to struggle a bit with those heads. Yeah, it was a prototype. That's why. Maniac Mike says, so you're telling me there's a chance? I'm telling you, there might be just a small chance. There's a chance. There's a chance if we pull together. Turbo Tank says, I passed on Giant Man. Damien says, only fig that's going down in value is Deluxe Mojo. Over in the UK, the basic one is just a dear odd. I'm not sure if that. Okay, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Anyone want to buy my Toy Biz blob? Kev, come on, man. Damien says, yep, needing an updated Blackheart and Zerthos. Yes, indeed. And Don says, I only buy Eternals. Really? Man.
Army building Eternals.
McFarlane Nice Ho. Really, Brian? Come on, man. Total Tank says, think HasLab will be the Blackbird? Never. No. The reason why I say no, if you ever seen, and I don't know if you've seen the 3D printed one that somebody made to fit the characters in there, how much they were just asking for it, you'd be like, no, there's no way. Especially being like painted up. No. You
very big. Very,
you really
very
be
big.
crying tears at the price of that. Not even big. The guy who printed up that Blackbird, I think, was asking over $1,000 for it.
Wow.
So you think of that. If that was ever a HasLab, and you could fit like 4 or 6 figures in there, and you including the paint, the parts that they have to add on there to add figures and remove figures, wherever other special things that may have add lights or stuff like that. There's no way. There's no way everybody would pitch a fit. I can tell you that right now. You wouldn't have to add figures with, and everybody would pitch a fit just at the price alone, because there's no way. If you're paying over $1,000 for that, I'd be like, you price me out automatically. I'm like, to anybody who can get it, much power to you. I can't do it. To those who can get that Snake Mountain, Thundercat's Lair, and then what is it? Let me see if I can bring it up here. I do have a picture of it. This from Super 7. Yeah, if you can get this, you're good. I think I can't remember if they said this was like $400 or $500. I can't remember for this one. But yeah, this thing is huge. This is huge. So yeah. Robert says, I buy plenty of Black Widows, not an army builder, but also a good body with solid accessories. Yeah. Omega says, Christmas came early. Ollie's, Marshall, Ross, Burlington, and TJ Maxx. Poggy says, Black Series plateaued for a minute, but just gotten worse and worse. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Robert says I bought 7 of those Black Widows from Target for $12 each. Brian says the only Marvel Legend I got this year was a gifted Black Widow. Not bad. I mean, couldn't go wrong with that Black Widow. Johnny says, honest question: how come no one give Legions any flack for single jointed elbows and pins?
I saw
I
that,
think
Don.
people-
I'll take a swing at that one.
Yeah, good.
I think a lot of it is the sculpt. You know, I think that mythics are such incredible sculpts, and they do move very well for the articulation that they have. Again, I'm not huge in on mythics. I have a handful. You know, I definitely cherry pick. I'm not all in on collecting them because I just collect up some other things. But when I have one in my hand, it just the quality of them feels so high that I feel as if I'm not missing on articulation. And I also feel as if the type of characters there often are, I don't need that range of posability. So for instance, if I have a knight wearing chainmail and armor, their arm is probably not going to bend very far to begin with if that's a real knight wearing that kind of armor. So that's just my take on that, Dante.
Yeah, I think it comes down to as well to like the same reason why people don't get like McFarlane a lot of flack as well too, because of the sculpt. They're like, yeah, sculpt's good. I can like it's greatly sculpted. It's kind of it falls in the same region. Um, I have a couple, and I like how they are. Actually, you know what? It was funny. It was like I talked about this with somebody at New York Comic Con as well. And I can see that they said they would be on Legions if they had a little bit more articulation in them. And they asked me how I felt. I was like, I like the Cosmic Legions because it's something more that I'm more invested in. I do like the Mythic ones. They have some great looking characters out of it, but Cosmic is more for me. Even though like it doesn't have all the articulation I really want with it. But yeah, I do enjoy scope. I do like to look at the figures. So that's how I feel on it. Total Tank says, how long did before you get the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett? It was too long. I'm glad I got mine, but way too long. I have no idea when. I could not even tell you. I couldn't even begin to tell you when. Omega says, GTO, that's a heavy car. I might as well race with a semi truck. Hey, that was my car in Gran Turismo. Greg says, Robert, I hate you. Never seen that Black Widow anywhere. RG says, speaking of cars, if you're a fan of Initial D, there's a new sequel called MF Ghost that recently came out. 3 episodes in, and it's already great. This man over here talking about cars. Pokey says, Blackbird would be 1,000 at least this day and age. Yeah, definitely. Robert says they should make those small 2-man jets from X-Men cartoon. Those would be cool. Yeah. So if they could get away with making a Quinjet, that might be a little bit better. So I think you could probably get away with that. Art says, Greg says, Art Kingdom of Ruin, 2 episodes in now, and wow, not for kids. Ooh. I heard Heavenly, I forget the name of it, Heavenly something. I think it's on Hulu. I heard it was like really good as well too. NJ Tree says the guy selling the Blackbird was $1,500. Yes. So there you go. If he's selling it for $1,500, imagine what Hasbro would sell it for. Johnny says you need to keep the Blackbird in the garage and your car outside, close to it. Mike says I'm down for one giant man, but at the same time they need to add quad pay into their payment options. You know what? I wonder if that worked like Sideshow does. Like you would pay a little bit, and then like you pay like installment payments. I wonder if that worked. If they think about doing that. All right, Pokey. GTF. Let's see. Brian says, is Gridiron Studios considered a line? Yeah, I would consider them a line. Yeah, I mean they make accessories, line accessories. So yeah. Pokey says Cobra Mothership is a joke. I don't know because I don't do reaction figures, so it's for me. It's not for me. Don says $4.95. If you get it, use the code Tom at checkout. I can use that commission. Yes, Dom does get a little bit of a commission for this. He is, which is I think like ambassador. You said what you for Super 7. So congrats to you on that one. Yeah. But yes, use the code Dom when you check out. Stride says I'm good. My Toy Biz Blackbird. I think all of us are at this point. Pokey says, to be honest though, I'm not a Super 7 fan at all. I'm not either, so you're not the only one. They don't make anything really that I need or want in my collection. Torn Tank says, I would think I would go Cobra Mothership. You can put the reaction in there as well as G.I. Joe reactions. Yeah. Grace says, art is a world where magic is tasked with protecting humanity. Humanity did what humans do and made tech and start hunts. Okay. Brian says, Cobra Mothership is too rich for me. I'm trying to get to these as fast as possible. Robert Diaz says, Mythic Legions look beautiful compared to Marvel Legends. Maniac Mike says, the Four Horsemen are masters of their art, and those joints aren't your standard single joints. I can kind of see that. I can kind of see where you come from with that. Grace says, Legion's articulations feels better like Black Series. Plus, feels better than like Black Series. Plus, the sculpt and paints are top notch. There are times you notice it at certain angles. That is true. That is very true. Total Tank says, I think Cobra Mothership is good, but it was never made. Telling me now and only showing up in the intro of G.I. Joe. Did they? Do you know, Tim? Did they make it for the O-rings?
Sorry, Bruno was trying to eat the carpet again. What I miss?
Oh, sorry. Total Tank said, I think Cobra Mothership is good. It was never made. Till now. Oh, till now, only showing up in the intro of G.I. Joe. Never mind. I'm sorry. I misread that. I think I read it too fast and messed up myself. Bart says, next HasLab is going to be $500 box of air that says Quantum Universe. And Johnny agrees. Pokey says, a payment plan for HasLab would be sick. Omega says, $1,500. That's big energy. Yeah, that is. Like, yo. Pokey says, that Snowmobile Gridiron put out looks awesome, but man, the price on that too. I haven't seen the price for it. How much is Snowmobile? 80 or 90? He says, I think Gridiron's a bit pricey overall, but at least they put out some quality looking stuff over stuff other companies aren't. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I mean, if you're an independent company, sometimes you guys start a little bit higher and maybe a little bit pricier, but as long as you get a good quality, when you receive it, I'm with it.
Their cigars were awesome. I did buy the cigar accessory set, which I face it. I mean, I know nowadays we don't see tobacco products with figures as much as we used to, but if you're reading a comic book, there's Wolverine, Ben Grimm, Nick Fury. There's so many characters just chomping on a cigar. So I really enjoyed that pack. I did a review on it if you want to check it out. So fun stuff.
There you go. Don says, Mothership has never been made before. Johnny says, I'm enjoying the reaction figures for non-human stuff like Toho Godzilla line and Roger Rabbit and Animaniacs, etc. And Total Tank says Ollie has the His Tank 3 for $12 with a driver. That is a good deal. Yes, it is a good deal.
That was the Walmart exclusive, I think, too.
Yeah,
that was the 3 3/4. Yeah, I had seen that down in Quakertown. I grabbed. I think there were like 3 versions of it that Walmart did, but that was a shocking one to see at Ollie's because again, they typically get a lot of Target stuff, but not as much Walmart. So that was kind of cool.
Oh wow, the Snowmobile's $200. I did not know that. Pokey saying the Snowmobile requires you to buy 2 separate items to combine them. One is $100, the other is $120 or so. You're paying almost as much as a His Tank or Dragonfly for that thing. I did not know that. I don't know. I want to ask some questions first to see. And I'm not saying this in a mean way. Like I'll probably want to ask questions like how that's the price. How would they come up for the price for that? Just to be curious, because I'm just curious. I didn't know it was that much. Omega Weapon says SHF TNG from One Piece comes with cigarettes.
So did the John Constantine Mezco figure, although they didn't advertise it. They did not show it on the packaging. They just packaged them in. So again, you have to be more careful with those tobacco products as far as, at least in the States, I think there are guidelines to what you can actually, show and put out there.
And Veteran Williams came with his little cigar too, a cigarette.
Mhm.
Gary said you pay more than for Vanguard, and Robert says Super 7 is doing nice stuff with the Godzilla line. Yes, Dom can attest to that because he did buy a Godzilla while we were there from Super 7. They were like, yo, so the Super 7 line was weird. It was like you go out and you buy it, and then they go in the back, like, all right, we'll be right back. I'm like, what are they doing? Making it back there? And they come out with a bag and a box, like, here you go. Like, I really want to say, like, hey, you got a factory back there or something? Like, did you just bring like a factory with you to this con? Like, something? You just making them? Mike says, Rom to the rescue, fellas. So, let me see if I have pictures of that up here because I want to talk about that a little bit as well. All right, so I may have it here. Also, Dom says random, but just got the Last Crusade Indy hat doesn't come off, but I just realized it's on the hinge. Okay, I actually just got that last set in today of the Indiana Jones wave. I didn't know there was a build-a diorama piece for it. I was like, okay, I forgot all about it. Okay, thanks, Pokey. I'll take a look at it. So from what I was understood and told at this throne for Shredder, they may be coming out with probably sometime next year. That box is huge for that turtle van. I'm just letting you know that turtle van is big. So if you're into turtles and you're getting this one, it's a pretty big one. Some Last Ronin figures and Teenage Mutant Turtle. Actually, yeah, this one's just Teenage Mutant Turtle ones from the comics. And everybody was, this is supposed to be like, I guess it's supposed to be Jack Kirby, from what I was told. It's back here. Let's see. Where is that? My other turtle pictures up here. I don't remember what I dumped in here. Let me see if I can find it here. Nope, I did not dump. I don't think I dumped those in here. But I think I did take a picture of. Oh, is it this one? Might be this one here. All right, so this is the last one here. And then they had Alex Murphy, RoboCop.
RoboCop.
With a bloody up vest as well. So for those who seen RoboCop, they should have had a cop piece right here. You get shot off. I try to get a good picture of this. So this is the backs. They decorate the back of the street scene, the street dial. So they did. They kind of like livened it up a little bit.
So much turtle stuff. There's just so much. I know we say it all the time, but there's just so much Ninja Turtle stuff out there.
They had some new stuff here as well. They showed off Krampus, My Bloody Valentine, McCready from The Thing. But this is what I want right here, the Monster Maker in the back. I really want that.
Dante, any pictures of the Christmas Elvira figure?
Did I get
That's one that I definitely when they came out the original Elvira, the first one, I remember saying to my friends, I was like, we're definitely getting Santa Elvira and that 4th of July Elvira. So let's say we got the 4th of July Elvira, the patriotic one in the last few weeks, Target's shown up. So when I saw the Santa one, I got pumped. I'm like, I'll buy the Santa one. That's got to be in the collection for Christmas.
I don't think I got pictures of that one. I think I took like just these because I know people want I knew people like hype for the kind of like hype for this one, like the turtle van, because this one, like I said, as you can see, it's pretty big.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's a 12 inch or 14 inch turtle next to it, so it's a pretty big van.
Big vehicle.
Yeah. So I talked about this as well too when I was there. Yeah, I got you, Art. So talking about this with someone at the con as well, and they agreed too that this was kind of pricey for what they were asking for. I wasn't sure, and I didn't get to ask anybody because this is before the show started. There's a piece of foam board up here, as you can see, like right here where mouse is, and we were curious if that even came with the sewer, because we know it. I don't think it came with the street dio, so we were wondering if that came with the sewer, if it was part of it comes with the sewer dio. Because this foam board is like almost like a street, like almost like a street, you can say.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, ugh. So it was kind of questionable. I was wondering. We were just wondering if that was part of it. But still, we said, yeah, it was still a little pricey for what it was. Turtle Tank says, question, if they're doing the Cobra mothership of G.I. Joe, I think they will do a turtle van to go with the reaction TMT. That's a good question. I don't know, because I didn't grab pictures, and that was my fault. I didn't grab pictures of the turtle van that was at Super 7. So I don't know. And from what I was told, the van was a lot bigger than what it was from Yoko. She said she thought it looked a little bit different, but it looks, I think, Don, correct me if I'm wrong, if she said, did Yoko say it was like a little bit bigger than they initially were making it? Let's see. Oh my goodness, I missed a lot here. Oh yeah, see that. Turtle Tank says, reaction TMT I started collecting. Who said a turtle can't drive at his tank? Robert says, we're getting 7-inch monsters from Godzilla other than Godzilla. That's where NECA failed. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. NJ Tree says, okay, Turtles, now you got my attention. Oh, good Lord. Have mercy.
He likes his turtles.
Pokey says, sorry if I missed it. Did you guys talk about the Monster Force reveals? We did not. We talked about like the box art, because I was shown. I have pictures of the box art, what it's going to look like when it comes out. Turn Take says, yes, that Super 7 does TMT reactions. Meg says, I'm surprised they have made a cartoon Super Shredder. I think, you know what? I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no to that because I don't know.
I know they did the movie version. I don't think I remember a cartoon version of it yet, though.
I thought they did. I can't remember. Pokey says that Alex Murphy looks awesome. Robert says they have an exploding hand effect. Daniel says need Clarence Bodecker fig. Yeah. Pokey says that scene traumatized me as a kid. Ooh, you watched it when you were really young. But Predator was and still is one of my favorite movies. That's always a must. Grace says Musk greater than NECA swim. Geez, yep. All right, gotcha. All right, Robert says that turtle van is epic. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's just a big van. Pokey says I missed the 4th of July Elvira, but if I find the Santa version in the wild, I'll grab it for sure. Robert says better than Super Servant's turbo van. I have to look at the Super 7 turtle van again. I have to look at it, and I can't say yes or no to that. Question: if they're doing the Cobra membership for G.I. Joe, I think they would do a turtle van. Oh yes, I'm sorry, I did ask that. Robert says Ramen Toys is making 2 rooms in a street scene for 200 Must Dio FTW. Pug says I love NECA, but Ace Musk puts this thing to shame. Pug said I missed the first hour. No, you get it. That's fine. Don said I think she said it looked a little small when fully painted. Yeah, okay. NJ says, Art says NJ Tree didn't NECA say that most of these accessories were just printed for display. Correct. The grocery bags come with the punk turtles. So there you go. Yeah. So a lot of this was not technically part of like you get with the turtles. So, and here you go, Pokey. Here's the box for Monster Force. Yeah, NECA's Turtle Van is half the price of it. Yes. Diamond Select. Let's see. They had Archangel up. They have some new mini mates from the Spider-Verse up as well. There's Cap, who looks a lot better. Like I say, he looks a lot better than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, that looks decent. It's definitely a brighter color too. It definitely pops looking at it from this angle.
Yeah. This I was really more excited about Crimson Dynamo
Mm-hmm.
and the head sculpt with that. That looks amazing. Tom, do you remember what Zach said about the shield on Cap? I forget. He said something about it with the shield, and I can't remember. There's something special like you could do with the shield, and I can't remember what he said in reference to it. No. Let's see. And this is at the Plunderlings booth. They had this huge dial, which looked amazing. Oh, yes. Thank you, Dom. He said, so Zach said about, so the straps come off and a peg goes in to attach to his back for the shield. Thank you, Dom.
Flutterlings are just a fun line. Like I have one.
Yeah.
I have Feral Cheetah, but they just look fun. They're just like a happy happy thing to have on your shelf.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. Anymore? I have no idea. Yeah, I thought I had more pictures than this. I don't remember what I dumped out. I think I dumped all my pictures on my personal page. Oh man, I done messed up. I thought I did. Archie hanging out with everybody, as always. But here's your Christmas Elvira.
There it is. Yeah, that's going to be cool. And again, I'm assuming it's going to hit in Q4. You know, you think it'd be out for the holiday season, so it's not far off. I mean, literally, Walmart's entirely Thanksgiving and Christmas right now, anyway. So you would think that this will be popping up in Targets sooner rather than later, unless it's for next year. I don't know, but if it's in packaging, I think it's got to be soon.
It's Boobarella. Oh, nah, I'm gonna sign these documents because Ray Romano is suing us.
Never forget that Elvira was in a WCW commercial with Sid Vicious.
Lord have mercy. That's right, Pokey. That's right, Pokey. Ooh, wee, Rick. Look at that. Oh, no, Daniel. Really? Tim, I wish someone would re-release Monsters in My Pocket with the better paint apps. Lord have mercy.
Bring it all back.
But yeah, it was a good time. Had a good time hanging out with everybody. Comic-Con was fun. Shame came to an end, but my feet were tired. I was tired.
Dogs were barking, right?
Yeah, they were past barking. They were dead. I went Thursday, Friday, took Saturday off, and went back up there Sunday.
Oof.
Just real quick too. There was 2 Mezco releases. They were killing me. I was so on the fence on this one. I said no. I had to say no.
That the King Conan?
Yes, I had to say no to King Conan. Because I already had the other 2 Conan. If this one came with a throne, it'd be different. I would say, yeah, okay, I'm in on this. But you get 3 different head sculpts, 8 interchangeable hands, the base as well. Shield, torch, and warhammer, a bastard sword and shield and battle axe. Bastard sword with sheath and battle axe, chest harness and fortified chest armor. Cape with lion head clasps.
Wow. I was messing around with my Constantine figure for a photo on Instagram the other day, and I was going through all the accessories I had bagged up. I forgot how good they do accessories. I mean, you just get everything. It's amazing the amount of stuff you get with these figures. So anybody who hasn't had one of these before, I know the prices seem a little bit high, but like you are getting some serious stuff with it.
Yeah. That's right. And it cut off on me. It says cloak with fox fur lined collar. So you get that cloak too. So not only do you get the cape, you get the cloak too to keep warm at night. But yeah, I had to pass on this one. It's 100. So if you miss Conan, here's your chance to get a Conan.
Here's your stand-in.
Exactly. Yeah, basically. Then they announced Duke. I'm only collecting, like I said, for me personally, I'm only staying with one G.I. Joe line, and that's Hasbro. I can't do the other ones.
Yeah, it's good. It's
all right.
stacks.
So
it's like turtles, it just stacks up.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said something about that, Turtle. He says, think they will do a horse for a King Conan. If they did a horse with that King Conan, I would have been in on it. Simple as that. Don says, I still have a big blister from walking 20 blocks each way in the parking lot to the parking lot, 4 days in a row, uphill both ways in the snow. That's right. It was snowing. 16 feet of snow. The rain was coming down that day. Yo, you know what, Don? That the moose does work, but I want a horse. Actually, you know what? I could probably use a Mythic Legion horse for him. Let's go on Rat Face. Let's drop in to say hi, guys. Playing Spider-Man 2. Damn you! That's it. I'm playing Spider-Man 2 after this.
That's where Dante's going to after this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm streaming Spider-Man after this. Yeah, because I want to play some Spider-Man. But we got Duke here, deluxe edition, 13 interchangeable hands, 3 interchangeable head portraits. He's got the haircut like he looks like he's in the army, but then he looks like that dude that just kind of push you around like when you're out in the real world. Like, get out of my way, dude. Like, what? Why are you so angry, man?
Bit of a bully, yeah.
Yeah. He has a handgun, 2 removable clips for the gun, knife with sheath and 2 gun effects, machine gun, 2 removable machine gun clips, removable front silencer, and 6 grenades in 2 styles, grenade launcher, 2 removable clips for a launcher, grenade FX, and tripod.
Yojo Jerk says it hurts his eyes.
Then he has a canteen, binoculars, and a helmet, walkie-talkie, foldable shovel, and mud splash. And he has a backpack and a scarf.
Need that scarf.
Yeah, keep warm at night. Keep those bed bugs away.
That's right.
You know what? I would ask if we had a guest on here, how do they do that, like with this license for G.I. Joe and Power Rangers? Like, how does that work out where they can still sell on Hasbro website, but other companies can make it as well too? I would feel like that would be like competition. Like, I feel like you're digging into our pockets at that point. I don't know. I'm just curious.
There's got to be some sort of arrangement there, you would think, right?
Or just I wish there was somebody I could ask. Oh well.
Yeah.
All right. Last bit here. I'll go through some of this Diamond Select stuff. Oh wow, they really don't have everything up here. Okay. Let's say got some Star Wars concept TIE Fighter, Teenage Mutant Turtles Gallery, AW Vinnie Mates, Dr. Britt Baker DMD. Yeah. Nothing spectacular. I thought they had like pictures of like everything else. I forgot this was going on too. as well too. Street Humans is going on as well. I forgot to mention. Oh no, we weren't here last week, so I did forget to mention that Street Humans is up. Kickstarter is up and going. Artemis Prime's newest figure line. So go check it out and go back it. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
He's been making the rounds on social media, so if you check out some different streams, you can probably see him popping up.
Yes. Tonight on Parallel, he was the last night on Toying Around, the Butter Baron show.
I think Dan Who had him on a couple days ago.
Yes, Dan Who had him on Thursday, early Thursday. Yep. And then we got Creative Beast Studio Cyberzoic. I'm not familiar with this. I've seen this pop up a couple times, so I haven't taken a look at this Kickstarter, but it looks like they're fully funded with unlocks ready. So congrats to them. But like I said, I was not familiar with these. Let's see here. We already looked at Giant Man. Dragon Ball Z. Let's see what we got here. Don says Duke looked rough at SDCC, but that was a really early prototype. Collecting habits is that face looks wrong. Robert says my Lady Death has her own ring wraith horse. Oh, my Lady Death has her own ring horse. Okay, wraith horse. Pokey says mud splash. Yeah, they give you a mud splash for him. Damien says need a quick synopsis of Spider-Man 2 before you sign off. As said, saving your live stream for tomorrow. Like what's happened before like this game like before Spider-Man 2 game, or like what's happened so far that I've gotten to in Spider-Man 2. Robert says non-exclusive scale and price range. Pokey says I'm glad to see Mexico's design choices being different from Haya. Seems to have just scaled down the classified figures. Yeah, see, I would get the higher ones, but they're just like 3.5, 3.25. And like, they look really good. Don't get me wrong, they look excellent. They look freaking amazing. It's just I wish there was 6-inch that looked like that. Curtis says seems like Hasbro has decided to only do 6-inch Joes and farm out the other scales. That could be as well. Damien says good luck, Shartimus. Curtis also says it's one of the few lines where they can make royalties instead of paying them. Yeah, you know, I didn't think about that. Robert says I bet the Smilodon. Must be from the Cyberzone. Turn takes since I like the G.I. Joe reactions. They don't take up much space on the shelf, and things like his tank can fit them. Omega says I need the street human from my Toretto display. It's all about family. Grace says Damien SM2 looks awesome. The costumes have good options for classic looks to crazy looks. Yes. Yeah. Anything up to you. Oh wow. All right. After this, I can do a quick rundown before we sign out here. Pokey says the detail on Haya is great, but the figures I bought mostly Preds are insanely fragile, like worse than old school NECA. Oh, see, that makes me scared.
Ouch.
Because I was thinking about getting those. Yeah, because I was thinking about getting the Judge Dredd ones. So we'll kind of go through this. We got the One Piece Netflix and Netflix series figures up here. I don't know who half of these characters are because I'm not familiar with One Piece. I don't watch One Piece.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
We got Godzilla. And then we got Ultraman from the Netflix anime. They look good. I like these. I know a friend of mine who's does not like these. Does not like the Netflix Ultraman anime. I just didn't like how they farmed them out to different Ultramans. It's like
The Ultraman Ultraverse.
Yeah, well, it was 5 or 6 of them in the show. And it was like they're a team. I was like, I don't like that. It's like can't just be just one Ultraman. Then we got some of these Godzilla figures. I'm wait for Godzilla -1. That looks really good. Oh, so for all my like horror fans out there, watch on Netflix. Is really good. It's a great series. It's 8 episodes. The Fall of the House of Usher. Great series. Check it out.
Nice.
Just let you know right now. Go watch it. If you like horror movies, you like Edgar Allan Poe, that's it. That's it for you.
That's the jam.
Just let you know it's very gory, very bloody.
Poe would have it no other way.
There you go. I'm not even gonna go into this. Like this looks like a disgraced Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like, what you say, boy? You think you can beat me? Like this man, like he's got the bags on. Like he's like, I've seen some things.
He's lived a life.
Yeah. You know, I gotta watch that turtle thing. I gotta watch Gamma Rebirth. I have to check that out. It's in my list to watch. Things to watch. And then we got a closer look at some of the Spider-Man. The Amazing version, revised. Then you got the new red and blue suit. It's weird. Like when the light hits it a certain way, that red looks like a lot brighter. And then with like, I guess no light really hit, like kind of like a low light hitting it, it looks a lot dark, kind of like a little bit darker.
The blue looks very metallic to me.
Yeah, I think the blue is like a more metallic. And we got $20.99. Then we got Godzilla from 2019, the Night Color Edition. Godzilla. I don't know why I say it like that.
Seems right.
Johnny says, when my girlfriend told me they never grew to kaiju size in Netflix Ultraman, I wasn't interested as one time I saw her watching it. They looked like they were fighting sci-fi armored SWAT guys. Yeah, it's decent. I watched like up to like I think the first season. I haven't watched the second season yet, but it's not bad. Curtis says there were a lot of different designs in Netflix Ultraman, and they all look good. Yeah, I agree with that. Gamma Rebirth is going to have a second season, says Turtle Tank. Nice. So yeah, so I have time to really watch. Start time to watch the first season. All right. I think that's really it. Honestly, there was looked at NECA Super 7 reaction. Time select. Let's have pictures. Let me see if they have pictures of Nihilus up here. Goblin. There's a Dynamo. Yeah, they don't have pictures of Nihilus. Good small. Anything that's super big. Then they did announce that we are getting a Janet Van Dyne right here in classic Wasp look. So that'll probably be next year sometime.
Yeah, making that push for Giant, man, letting us know it's coming.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's end that. All right. What was the recap? What was it giving a recap for? Oh, dang it. So basically, at this point in Spider-Man, most people are in the raft.
Hang on, Dante. I'm gonna bounce to the video game part since I don't play.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bounce out and let you have center stage to the video games. But everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Dante, we'll talk to you soon, bud.
All right, have a good one.
And don't be up too late tonight playing that game. Get yourself some sleep. You had a late night last night.
It's a weekend. I gotta stay up.
All right, bye, guys.
See ya.